Alright, welcome back. This is going to be, well, I'll try to keep it as short as I can. I don't want to make it too long. But this is kind of what was going down, what happened at the Fruits Basket premiere on the 26th and 27th. I was originally only going to go to the dub. I was going to take my mom with me. But then when the Japanese premiere came out and Furuba Cannon, who are these two girls on, I guess, Tumblr, I don't know, yeah, Tumblr. They live in Japan, so they went to the Japanese premiere and they made a little podcast. And so I went ahead and bought a ticket for myself to go to the sub as well, because I wanted to see if there's any differences between any of them, which not really. Well, between the U.S. and the Japanese, yes, there were, but the U.S. ones not really. Okay. But before I go into that, let me talk about kind of the situation that's going down with the merchandise. So Funimation originally, when they announced the tickets, they said that every ticket holder would get a cup, a lanyard, and 3 buttons. One of Toru, one of Kyo, and one of Yuki. So I'm going to try to go this in chronological order. I went there to the dub with my mom on Tuesday. We sat down. I know that from what I've read now is that it's set up differently for each studio, but in my studio it was, you sat down at your seat and they already had the cup, and inside the cup was the lanyard and your buttons. It was already at your seat for you. You just had to go and pick it up. So when I got there, both me and my mom, we sat down, we looked at the cups. We got the cups and the lanyards, but we only had 1 button each. We both had Yuki buttons. And I thought the reason, 2 reasons why I didn't go around and question at the time was, one, I thought, well, maybe they didn't advertise it right. Maybe it was supposed to be like a, random draw as to which ones you're gonna get. And plus on top of that, I had to take my mom home after the movie, so I couldn't really immediately go and ask, which was fine. Because then it allowed me to go home and see what if it was just my theater that was this way, or if it was anybody else's. And apparently no, it was not just my theater. There were lots of other theaters where people clearly they got just Yukis, they got Kyos, they got maybe Yuki and Toru, or Yuki and Kyo, or Kyo and Toru. But none of them, from what I could tell, got actually all 3 buttons. Everyone, from what I can understand, is that some people got 1 button in their cup, like I did. Some people got 2 buttons in their cups. Some people got 3 buttons in their cups. But none of them actually had all 3 characters. They were always either duplicates, or they were duplicates, like someone had, let's say, like 2 Kyos and a Toru, something like that. If they actually got 3 buttons. But from what I can tell, no one actually got all 3 buttons. And then I saw someone post up on, again, I was kind of reading through things, and someone had posted up that they had direct messaged Funimation saying that, oh, hey, I didn't get all my buttons, and Funimation said, okay, well, we're going to be working on it, just give us a little time, because we're getting a lot of messages in. And apparently also that there's supposed to be vouchers at your theater, that if you didn't have all the merchandise, you could go and pick up a voucher, and you'd be able to send it in and get all the merchandise that you were missing. So what happened was, I was like, okay, so I kept that in mind and said, okay, I'll go to the sub the next day, which I did. And when I went to the sub, it was pretty much the same thing, to where it was just a cup, the cup there with the same Yuki button, with another Yuki button in it, and the lanyard. This time I did actually get to ask around and get some more information, and they were saying that, the staff was saying that, even though they had gotten 3 boxes in, but all 3 boxes were Yuki. They were all the same character, so I was like, okay, well, that's clearly a shipment mess up. And then after the premiere, I went to go and see if I could pick up a voucher, but the guy who I talked to was like, oh, well, I can't give you a voucher because it's only meant to be for the cups. I said, well, the other missing merchandise is the pins, the button pins. I said, well, I don't know about that. I was just told that if you were missing a cup, then you could get a voucher. If you weren't missing a cup, then it was whatever. So I was like, okay. It's like, well, the only other option I have, next he would not let me have a voucher. So my only other option was I had to go and direct message Funimation. To which, again, they haven't replied to me yet. Hopefully they'll reply to me soon, but I do know that they did message, it was posted up on someone else's, like, Twitter picture showing that they are getting to them. It's just they have a lot of people coming in saying, oh, hey, like, I'm missing my buttons, can I get them, and whatnot, and so they're having to go through it. I'm assuming, however, there might also, I'm assuming that, however, if you're going to actually send in and say, hey, I'm missing my buttons, you're probably going to actually need, like, photographic evidence saying that, hey, look, these are the things I got, here are my tickets, and stuff like that, to prove that you actually were there. So, at least I'd assume that. That way it's not just like they're handing out buttons to everybody who didn't, actually pay to get them. So after that, so basically, if you didn't get a voucher, just go ahead and try to direct message Funimation and make sure that, I'd assume, again, you have some kind of evidence, you have some pictures of, like, your tickets to show that, yeah, you actually were there, and then this is the items that you got, and this is the items you're missing. Anyway, so I'm going to go on to the premiere. I'm going to try to be short about this, but I'm also going to try to be kind of vague. I don't want to spoil too much for the people who didn't get to come. But I'll start off with mentioning that with Furuba Canon, when they went to the premiere, that they got to see, apparently while they were waiting before the actual interviews started, they got to preview a little bit of the soundtrack, as well as they got to see some character designs that hadn't been revealed yet. And then they even got to hear the ending song after that last episode. They didn't get to see it because there wasn't any visuals. They just got to hear it, and they knew it was being sung with a male voice this time. But I went to both the English, and it doesn't matter whether it was the English or the Japanese version, the dub or the sub. It didn't matter because, one, we didn't get music preview. No, we didn't get to that. Nor did we get any character design. Any new character designs that haven't been revealed yet that you'd only see in the theaters. No, that has not been. They didn't have that. It just went right into the interviews. We did get a Japanese interview, but I don't think it was the same as the Japanese interview that was for the Japanese audience, because it was asking kind of the questions that Funimation was asking the English voice actors when they were revealing them. So again, I think we had a slightly different Japanese interview, and then in terms of the English interview, it was kind of an interview, but it wasn't really. It was just, I don't know it wasn't like the Japanese where it's like all three. It wasn't like Kyoto and Yuki were sitting together or whatever. It was just kind of, they were clearly recorded separately. But it was recording of Eric Vale, Yuki, Jerry Jewell, Kyo, John Bergermeyer, I think that's how you say his name, Sugar Ray, Justin Cook, Katsuhara, and then Caitlin Glass, who's the director. It was just kind of a little interview with them all talking about different things and their experiences and how they're excited to be able to record the new series and whatnot. But other than that, that really was about it. I mean, so in the English version, we didn't get to hear the ending whatsoever. Like, we didn't get to hear it. We didn't get to see it whatsoever. Like, as soon as the episode was over, it cut to black, sound stopped. That was it. However, you did, if you were paying attention during the English cast interview, you could actually hear them playing what I'm assuming is probably the ending, because it has a male voice to it. You could hear a song being played in the background with a male voice. So I'm assuming that was probably the ending, which from what I could hear of it, I thought it was really nice sounding. So now I'm going to actually get into the animation portion and whatnot. I don't want to talk about it too much. I don't want to spoil too much anything for anyone. I really enjoyed. I really liked the animation. That was something that, even though I liked the character designs, I was kind of worried about how they were going to look like in the anime. I know that some people were also worried about how the more comedic scenes were going to work out with the animation, but it looks gorgeous. The comedic scene, the more comedic parts actually work very well with this animation. There was one scene in particular that, on both cases, sub and dub, it got people laughing hysterically because of just because of how hysterically animated it was. It was good animation, but it was hysterical how it was just funny. but the animation is very beautiful. The character designs. There's very few moments where there's like where it's just like straight up like a still scene where nothing's moving but characters are talking or something like that. There's usually something that's always in the background, even if it's just like, say, like a wind chime that's moving. There's something that's always kind of slightly moving in the background, or whether or the character is. But the character designs are beautiful. The backgrounds are very detailed. The entire series has a very, those first 2 episodes have a very warm feeling to it. The colors aren't like pastel like they were in the original, nor they're like bright, but they're just very warm. It's very warm colors. Let's see. The music I thought was very good. I know that people again were worried about the music as well, going, well, hopefully, because the original series had a very calming, had a very iconic type music that very fit the series. I feel like the music in this one, in the new series, also kind of falls into the same pattern, that it's very, so I know that people were worried about whether it's going to be kind of J-poppy, very loud and J-poppy or whatever, but no, it's like kind of a reimagining of the original soundtrack. Not entirely, it's not the same songs, but it has the same feeling, the same sort of tone and feeling that you have from the original music is basically the kind of same tone and feeling that you get with the new music. So I'm happy about that. The cinematography in the new series is also really good. The scene that everyone I know that has been talking about is the scene where Yuki and Shigure are walking up the staircase, and it's not just as simple like before, like where it was like you saw Yuki and Shigure from their side view and they're just walking across the screen. It was, no, you get Shigure on like an upper portion of the staircase and Yuki on a lower portion of the staircase, and they're talking to each other and they're moving, and it's really cool looking. It's amazing cinematography. And another thing I know that a lot of people were also worried about was whether it was going to be like a shot-for-shot remake of the manga, which no, it isn't. They definitely have something. They definitely did some a little bit more creative. They added some little creativeness to how things were angled and shot composition and whatnot. But it's really cool what they do, and it's really beautiful. So of course this gives people who only watched the original series something to enjoy, because if you're going to go back and you've never read the manga, you've only ever seen the 2001 anime, it gives you something definitely new to look forward to, because you're going to see things slightly differently. There are going to be definitely some new scenes in there that were not in there, even within definitely within the first episode, that was not in there in the original, which is nice. I'm trying to think of if there's anything else. But I mean, for me, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was, I think it's really beautiful. I think it's going to do a good job, because it's, in terms of accuracy to the manga, it's pretty stinking accurate. Okay, so I'm pretty happy. I'm really happy about this so far. I think that's really about it, as from what I can think of in terms of, again, I don't want to spoil too much. I know that the voice acting dub-wise was really good. I think the only thing that kind of jarred me a little bit was Laura Bailey's voice for Toru isn't quite the same. I think it's a little bit more higher pitched. It's just I mean, it's not bad. It's just a little different, because you're so used to hearing her original voice. It's not bad though. I think I can't tell if she might be trying to do it purposely this way. I'm not entirely sure. But it's not bad. It's good though. It's just a little different. But all the other voices I thought were pretty good. Now speaking of something that really actually did surprise me, because I'm going to move on from that. I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to leave all that behind. There's one little thing I want to mention, and that is that, and I can mention it now because her character design was actually revealed straight up in between the 26th and the 27th. Her character design actually came out. But Motoko Minagawa, her character design, it's pretty much the same, with the exception of her hair color. No longer is her hair color the reddish brown that we got to see in the original anime, but her hair color actually is a black now, surprisingly, which is, it kind of threw me off initially when I first saw it, because I was like, whoa, whoa, who is this character? And then I was, oh wait, that's when I heard the voice in English, and then also when I heard the name as well, I was like, oh, that's Motoko? And it surprised me because I didn't expect her hair to be black, and that's because I guess because I think everyone's first impression of her or the first time they actually got to see her colorized was in the 2001 anime. But, with the red or brown hair, but, I guess, I'll have it up here. There was a CD drama that covered the sort of Cinderella portion of the story, or just the play anyway, that came out, I don't know, I'm assuming after the anime the original anime had come out. And if you look in the upper left-hand corner, there's a girl with black hair, and I was always confused as to who she was, because I was like, who is this girl? Because I was so used to Motoko having the reddish-brown hair that I didn't realize that was Motoko. And so, now that her character design has been revealed to where she actually has shown that, no, she was supposed to actually have black hair, I look at that picture and go, oh, so that's who that is. It's not weird. She doesn't. It's just kind of a little bit surprising because it took me back a little bit. Took me by surprise a little bit because I didn't expect her to have black hair. But that also explains the girl with the black hair in the first Fruits Basket and Another chapter cover, because they kept saying, oh, that's supposed to be Motoko's daughter, and I was going, I know, but I was like, but Motoko's daughter is supposed to have like reddish brown hair. Motoko has reddish brown hair, so wouldn't like Motoko's daughter have that same color hair? So I was really confused at first, but now that makes sense. It's like, okay, she actually has black hair. Okay, that makes a whole lot more sense now. But other than that, that's really about it. I really enjoyed the remake, the premiere. It was really fun, especially getting the experience it in theaters. Having everyone there, laughing at all the goofy little situation stuff that happened. I enjoyed it. I think it's gonna be good. I absolutely cannot wait for April 5th. It's so close now. Basically in about a week, really. That's really about it. I'll try to keep you guys updated. I have a couple more videos I want to try to get done before the new series comes out. But other than that, that's really about it. So thanks for watching, and bye for now.